My name's Colin and I'm hoping to run an ultramarathon every month in 2023.
And my name's Andrew, Colin's brother, and I'm going to be joining them for half a marathon during his ultra run every month. This is Idiots Go Running.
This is episode 6, the March Run.
It's Monday the 27th of March and it's 2 days on from our run on Saturday. Colin, how you feeling?
I am feeling good. I've had a recovery day in the gym today, so foam roller and stretching, so feeling good, apart from I've still got this horrible cold flu type thing.
Did people know about the cold flu type thing on the last podcast last Monday night when we were recording? I don't think you mentioned that, did you?
I didn't mention it to you, that's why, because you always worry about me, my family worries about me, Rachel worries about me, so I try to not tell people things because they'll just go, are you sure that's a good idea?
So you didn't mention it to me and you didn't mention it to the podcast either. That's what you're saying.
No.
But before we get to that, you had a bit of a recovery day. I have to say, yesterday I didn't feel too bad, but then I woke up this morning and my left calf, I felt like somebody had hit it with a small cricket bat.
Twice?
It was really sore. Twice. Why not? Twice did hit it with a small cricket bat, not a big cricket bat.
Just a small one.
Just a small one. Like, it wasn't like, like a big cricket bat soreness, just small, twice hit cricket batness. Anyway. And I had to do some foam rolling as soon as I got up this morning. And when I came back in later on from work, I had to do it a few times, Colin. I was feeling much, much better. I have to say, I really used to underestimate foam rolling, and now I'm a fan. I'm a believer.
How long do you foam roll for?
Oh, my physio friend says about 20, 25 seconds, but I do a little bit more than that. But it was sore. This is the sorest it's ever been, foam rolling. He said sometimes it can be quite sore, and I haven't really experienced that before. But this time it was sore. Like, I stopped. I didn't want to do it. It was sore, but I'm reaping the benefits now because it does make a big difference. And you find that too?
Yeah, I would use a foam roller, and would hear this one. I was foam rolling today with the gym's foam roller. It used to be green, Andrew. I don't know what colour it is now, but I'm telling you what, it ain't green. It's absolutely stinking.
That's a well-used foam roller then, I would imagine.
It's a gym that'll get, I don't know how many people in. And do you know the way everybody, no, you probably don't, because you don't go to the gym that much, do you?
I don't go to the gym, no.
Do you have a membership?
I don't have a membership to the gym, no.
No, so there must be about 100 people who use this gym, and I think this is just this foam roller that sits in the corner that I don't think anyone would use. And I forgot my foam roller this morning, so I ended up, I closed my eyes and pretended it was my own. It's quite a gentle foam roller. It's not like really hard and pointy like the one I have at home.
It's a well-used one, which makes it soft then.
Probably, it's all the sweat that's soaked into it that gives it that spongy effect,
Well, as we're talking about foam rollers and recovery, spoiler alert, we did complete our runs on Saturday. It was a great run, but before we get to the run and some of the things that happened during the run, we'll take you back, not 2 days, but the 3 days. 3 days being Saturday. Nope. 2 days is Saturday. 3 days is Friday. Should really know the days of the week by now. Friday, Colin, we realised something on Friday. Do you know what we realised on Friday?
What did we realise on Friday?
Well, last time... Oh, we've realised that from some time, but counting's different from knowing the days of the week, Colin, just so you know. Was that issue with counting or was it with knowing the days of the week? Don't know, but we'll move on. So so we recorded last Monday night. The podcast came out on Tuesday. This here is being recorded tonight, being Monday the 27th of March, and it'll come out at some stage tomorrow being Tuesday the 28th. See how I did that right?
Yeah, you're on fire.
On the last podcast, we said that you were running from Belfast to Slemish and then Slemish to Glenara Forest.
Yeah.
On Friday, we realised that we had no way home from Glenara Forest. Do you remember this? We had no lift lined up.
Yeah, you were talking about getting a taxi and everything, and I didn't know what you were talking about.
Your wife couldn't pick us up. My wife couldn't pick us up.
Rachel didn't want to pick us up. She was free. She had a house day, Andrew.
Oh, right. So your wife Rachel had a house day, a day without Colin. So she thought, I'm not driving. Oh, that would be a 2-hour round trip to pick you up.
Yeah, probably a 2-hour round trip.
Your wife Rachel didn't want to pick you up. My wife Jenna was out and about doing stuff, so she couldn't do it. Mum and Dad, sometimes they can help us out, but they were also out, so we were left with the prospect of, and I'm just going to Google it now, how far would it be? My house is closer than yours from Glenarv. How long would we had to run back, Colin, do you think?
Would it not only been to Slemish, because you were meeting me around Slemish?
Oh, yeah, you're right. We just would have had to run back to my car. You're 100%, Colin.
You're probably talking 17 miles.
That is right. I thought we'd have to run back to our house.
I had planned that for you to do 17 miles. That's how in my head I had 17
right,
miles.
Right, because you kind of hinted it might be more than 16 in the last podcast.
I don't tell you the whole truth.
Yeah, you didn't, and I was concerned about that. It's come up here 15.6 miles, so you would have ran 42, and then you had to do close to 16 miles back, and I would have ran close to 16 miles and then another 16 back, and that just wasn't happening. We had to pivot. You'll hear that maybe once or twice in this podcast. We had to pivot. We had to change our plans on the Friday night before the Saturday morning run, and you decided to change the plan, and you tried to contact me, but you couldn't contact me because I was at a church event. My daughter was at a church GB display, and my phone was in silent, and by the time I got out, I phoned you, and you were in bed.
I was in bed sleeping. I was getting well rested for my 42-mile run the next day.
So I woke up, I actually woke up before you left. This is the first time I've actually woke up. Normally I get up quite early, Monday through to Friday, but at the weekends I have a bit of a lie-in. I woke up early to phone you to say, what's happening? Where am I meeting you? What the crack is? And it was only on Friday you informed me that you were actually sick.
Yeah, so this week, or last week, sorry, I was fighting a sort of a chesty thing going on, bit of a head cold, not really a touch of a sore head, but I was struggling with breathing this week, with just being bunged up, and obviously being bunged up, you don't get much sleep. But you know what? The show must go on, Andrew.
Well, we said in one other podcast, one of the first podcasts, I think, at the start, what happens if it's torrential rain? What happens if it's snow? What happens if it's icy? Weather-wise, no matter what, if we're running on that particular day, that particular Saturday at the end of the month, we're running no matter what, isn't that right? Nothing is stopping us weather-wise. But we didn't actually include sickness in this. So what happens if someone is sick? Do we continue to run on?
Yes and no, but plans change.
If you're sick, you will decide to run on probably. If I'm sick, we ain't running that day. we ain't not running that day.
Well, you're not running, but you'll be the designated driver.
Well, it doesn't work like that.
Depending on
we both have to run. You can go out for a run, but it's like idiots go running. It's not idiot go running. So that's kind of the challenge field. Part of this is, yes, you're doing the longer run, but I have to do some of it, at least half a marathon. Otherwise, the challenge is over.
So are you saying, hold on, so are you saying that if you don't run, I feel the challenge as well? That's unfair. That is so unfair. Are you having a laugh? So it means I have to convince you to run if you're not well. I can convince myself to run because I'm a man, but I can't really convince you to run.
In fairness, if I was as sick as you were at the weekend, no, I'm probably not going to run, if I'm being honest. So, you know, and also, like, if you're really sick, or if you're injured or something, what do you do? If you're injured, you're injured. If you're sick, you're sick. There gets a point where you just can't run, even if you wanted to.
If I woke up and I was injured, or I knew I was carrying an injury, the one thing you do is you pivot. You pivot and you come up with a new plan.
Can you hear that? Someone's calling me at the minute.
Oh,
just wait.
You're popular in the night. See, I've got my phone on silent, so I do, because I'm on a podcast. Do you want to take that, Andrew? Do you want to take that? Shall we all listen in?
I'll message back to say I will phone them back in an hour, 1 wee second. Oh, just bear with me.
That's a good strategy you got there. How'd you come up with that concept of messaging them back to say that you call them back?
At the minute, I'm not even listening to you because I can't do two things at once.
Or count. So this is currently the Colin podcast.
Sorry, I'm still texting, but I'm just butting in to say this. The Colin podcast sounds exceptional. Colin, continue.
So, I ran to Slemish, and I wasn't feeling well.
Sorry for interrupting you with the drizzle that was the Colin podcast, where literally it consisted of, this is the Colin podcast.
Yeah.
So where were we? We haven't really come across this. If someone's sick up until now, you were sick, but you decide to go on. I suppose it depends how sick we are and what happens. Do we postpone it to the next week? We don't know. Hopefully we'll never get an injury bad enough or a sickness bad enough that we can't push through it. But you were sick and you decided, I'm still going to run, but you did decide to pivot and change things up again. What did you decide?
Friday night, I wasn't feeling great. And I was going to bed and I thought, I'm going to take some Nurofen. It would allow me to get a bit of sleep and a bit of rest. And yeah, woke up the next morning, still feeling rubbish. And then I waited till Rachel got back from the gym, all ready to go. And I left the house about... Well, actually, I left the house about 8 o'clock and had to run back to the house because I forgot to take my Nurofen before I left. And
You forgot something else, I believe, because it was about 8:15. You'd hoped to leave at 8. I phoned you 8, roughly in the dot, and you said, I'm going to leave in about 15 minutes. And you phoned me when you're on the road, and you were like, oh, I've just remembered, I forgot my mittens. And you had to go back for them. And you
my Nurofen tablets.
So Nurofen tablets too. The plan was then to go to Slemish, and you decided you weren't going to run 42 miles. You were probably going to run about 32 miles, the plan was.
It was going to be, I was feeling really, really bad, and I thought today is a box ticking day. So I was recently listening to a podcast, and they said that everyone turns up on good days, but it's the real heroes. Well, I don't think they said heroes, but I'm going to put it in. It's the real, it's the real heroes that turn up on the bad days. If you can turn up on the bad days, then the good days will be easy. So this is me grinding through the bad days. Let's tick this box a day. Let's do an ultra. So about 31 miles is a good standard ultra. What's that, about 50k, Andrew?
So you were planning, which would still take you to Slemish to meet me, and then I was going to...
Yeah.
And we should say that about Slemish, because some people... Slemish is kind of a local landmark here in Northern Ireland. Some people, when we're talking about Slemish, might not know what Slemish is. Describe Slemish, Colin.
We class it as a mountain over here, but it's basically a mound in the middle of farmers' fields. But no, it's big. It's not a mound. It would take you an hour to get to the top and about an hour back down again.
You can see it from all around the countryside, and it's quite famous, Colin, because when St. Patrick was in Ireland, he was actually a bit of a shepherd round Slemish.
What did you say? You made a comment about sheep on our run, Andrew. A sheep man, I think you called him.
That's near the end of the run.
Where's the sheep man?
Something about, what is it? It's a sheep man. And you were like, shepherd? Here's me, sheep man is called shepherd.
So
St. Patrick was a sheep man, or if you want to get a bit more technical, he was a shepherd, and he done some shepherding around Slemish.
Well, he didn't do any sheeping.
Have a Google of it, and you will see, if you're not familiar with it, Slemish, Slemish Mountain, and you'll see the place where we ran to, or Colin ran to, and I ran round. So that was the plan, Colin. You set off, and how did you get on?
I started running, and I suppose I was tired because I was carrying a bug, and with I suppose it's fair to say, Andy, with any underlying condition, you have to be careful. So anyone out there listening who have an underlying condition and you're not feeling well, maybe sometimes it isn't the best idea to push yourself.
We do joke about being sick and not being sick, but you did feel you were well enough to do this challenge, even though you were pushing through it. Like, it wasn't if you were in your bed and you had to crawl out of bed, because that would have been silly. So you weren't well, but you felt well enough to do it.
Yes, that's correct. And so it was up to me to get out of bed or not get out of bed and go for a run. So anyway, running through Belfast, I actually went through a lot of places where I would have grown up, Andrew, and passing a lot of people who I suppose would know me.
And on that note, because you did something different on this run that you haven't done before, or you haven't done since you attempted Mizzen to Malin, that you put your GPS coordinates on your Facebook page, and maybe just a bit of a plug for your Facebook page. What's your Facebook page, and can people contact you there, Colin?
Yes, the Facebook page is MS Running Adventure, and I actually posted a wee photograph from the car park at Slemish on it, so if you want to have a look at Slemish.
Do you know what, I'll have a look at that now, because I'm not really on social media too much now, so I've yet to see this. I'm going to go now and have a wee look, because we don't have an Idiot's Called Running Facebook page or Twitter account or Instagram or anything like that. Should we, Colin?
No.
Yeah, podcast is maybe good enough, but if people want to contact us, probably your Facebook page is probably the best place to go to, would it be? Yeah,
I would say so. I would say and you know what, it might adapt into, this is where I'm going to do, I suppose it's any of my adventures that I go running, whether it be Mizzen to Malin, whether it be a marathon, whether it be Idiots Go Running, or anything I'm doing, it's all about running. And it is as I put it, the MS running adventure. So what gives it a wee bit of quirkiness is that I do have the underlying condition of MS. I like running and love the adventure of it. So that's where it all comes from. But yeah, you can check out them pictures, Andrew, after if you want, seeing as you're probably busy, are you, at the minute?
I actually had to text myself the code to get
Was
into
that the
Facebook.
ding?
That was the thing that you heard. I'll keep it in now. I was going to cut out Colin, but I'll keep it in now.
You are a professional, Andrew.
I tell you what, if I'm not watching football or doing other daft stuff, you put your coordinates up. What's it?
Yeah.
Sorry, just for my benefit now, what's your Facebook page called?
MS Running Adventure.
I am following it. Look at us. Look at me.
Wow,
Look at us.
You know, he's now following my page.
I've given it a bit of a like, and
Happy
there you
days.
go. There's information. There's a wee video of you in the snow and everything. Brilliant. Check that page out if you wish. So are the coordinates away now in this page? Did it just come up live during the run?
After you finish a run, I kind of take the mud down off the page because you get this broken link, and there's no point in having a broken link to a page. There's nothing more frustrating than having a broken link.
So you put the coordinates up on your Facebook page so people were able to know where you were running, as you said, seeing you're running through some of the places you grew up. You got some visitors along the way that stood out for you or came up and drove alongside you. And tell me a bit about that. Was that an encouragement, or did you enjoy that, or how many people seen you on your way?
Do you know what? It was class because I actually missed one of them. They were shouting at me, but I didn't even have headphones in. The first group of people that met me were actually my mum, my dad, and my uncle waiting outside my old school in Glengormley. Really interesting.
You didn't know they were going to be there. They just seen you coming
No.
on the GPS and decided to meet you there. And what do you think when you seen them?
Well, I knew the first thing when my dad went to the back of the car, he's away for the high vis, Andrew.
So you weren't wearing a high vis, because in these photos that I'm looking at on your page, we're both wearing high vis jackets.
Yep.
Or you're wearing a high vest top, but your jacket's actually black.
My jacket's actually black.
I remember telling you off at this stage when you bought that, look at my jacket, it's lovely, isn't it? Here's me, it's black. He goes, oh, it is black. Here's me, you're out running. You should wear a high vis jacket, not a black jacket.
I'm sensible. When I go on to any road that doesn't have a footpath, I do wear high vis. So I am not a complete idiot.
And then who did he meet after that?
After that, apparently there was another person out, Gordon, and he was shouting at me at a roundabout, and I didn't see him.
Although you said you didn't have the headphones in, when you run, you have your mobile phone in one of your bag
One of my
jackets,
side
pocket things, and the music is pumping, like it is loud. So although you
Do you think so?
Oh, it's loud, Colin. It's loud. And I said,
I ran through Belfast with that.
I was about to say, did you keep this on when you were running through Belfast? And you did. So I'm sure a few people turned their heads.
Do you mean people can easily hear my Miley Cyrus, S Club 7 and Britney Spears tracks?
Yes, and more.
Not me. They're up-tempo tracks. That's why I wear them. That's why I listen to them when I run, not because of the music. It's just they're a good tempo for running too.
So that's why you missed Gordon calling out to you. And who did you meet after that? A few more people you met?
After that, I was running down past my mate Smithy's house. And Smithy, we've known Smithy for he was your friend before he was my friend, and then I think he's more my friend now than he is your friend, correct?
Well, I debate that fully, so I would. But that said, he did come out and see you, and he didn't come out to see me. Now, in fairness, you ran straight past his house, so it was easier to get to you than me. Just on that note, how many people came out and visited you in Tollgall during your run?
In total, how many people seen me? Are you including Smithy's kids?
Yes, let's go for that too.
Well, I suppose they are people.
They all came out. They all came out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See my counting, Andrew.
That's impressive. It's impressive. Eight people came out.
11. 11.
You went from 8 to 11. That was quite the jump. Do some mental maths in the head there, Einstein.
Andrew, I better have names for 11 people, or I'm the one who can't.
It's all right. I'm not asking the name, but 11 people is very encouraging. Ask me how many people came out during my part of the run call. None, Colin.
He had that lamb that came up to the fence.
We did have a baby lamb, but that's not really a person, and that's just a lamb. So 11 people came out to meet you, some in cars, some by the roads, and that was encouraging, I would suspect, for you. And I'll give you a bit of push. You stood and talked to them for a few minutes and then went your way again.
It really breaks up your run. So I stopped with Smithy, and Sarah says, Colin, I've got to cut up an orange. I've got an orange cut up here in the house. You know, it's like one of them Blue Peter things where she walked in, she goes, here's one I had earlier. And she brought out this cut up orange. And that cut up orange was amazing. And then Smithy's kids had tambourines. I think one was playing some sort of fluty type thing. I don't know. There was noise going on the side of the road, drowning out my music.
Fantastic.
And so you stop and you chat to them for a while. And then I started running again. And you know, at that stage, it feels like it's a start of your run all over again.
It just gives you a lift, gives you encouragement, and away you go again.
Yeah, it was class. There could have been about 14 if you count your wife that drove past me. I was running past your in-laws' house, so yeah, she gave me a toot of the horn. So technically, she didn't come out to see me, but she went past me. Does that count?
No, not really. I wouldn't count that. That was just somebody. Well, happened to be my wife driving by you and just happened to notice you. She wasn't following. I would say that was a happy coincidence, but not a visit, just for your sake, so you can delete her from your number. Well, I came to see you on my way to meet you. Was I included?
Oh yes, you weren't included. Actually, that was all good, and the weather started off was okay. It was not too bad. Bit of drizzle
Saturday
here.
morning, it was a scorcher of a day. It was absolutely beautiful. Blue skies all around here.
I wouldn't go as far as a scorcher, Andrew.
Well, it's a Northern Ireland March scorcher.
I think you're not even talking in the double figure degrees, Andrew.
It wasn't raining, is what I'm trying to say.
It wasn't raining. There's a wee bit of sun. Look, it was a nice day. It was a nice, brisk, clean day, I suppose. I wouldn't say scorcher.
That's maybe a fair point. At this stage, when you're passing these people, are you still sick? Cough right on cue, thank you. Were you still sick at this point? Yes. How were you feeling? Did you want to quit at any point of this run up to this moment?
No, I got through Belfast and I got to Ballyclare and I got through Ballyclare, and as I was getting out to Slemish nearly before you, I started to feel tired, and I think the Nurofen was really wearing off by then. I was starting to feel the aches and pains. Because funny, taking Nurofen, it might have been for the cold, but sure, it's got anti-inflammatories in it, so I might not have been feeling the pain. Like, you know, remember before I said I got niggles in my knee and ankle and all? Probably about, when did I meet you? 25 or 6 miles, was it I met you? 24,
it was
24, 5
no,
or 6?
No, it was in around, I can nearly exactly tell you, it was about 19 miles you met me.
Really? Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure now, because now I realise, well, let's just cut to the chase then. How many miles did you do altogether, Colin? You were aiming for 42, you cut it back to 32, but you ended up going for
34.95.
Not to be exact, but 34.95. And I was aiming for hopefully 16. You thought it'd be over 17. And in the end, I was 15.7.
Is that your longest run?
That is my longest run, and this is the third time I've been able to say this on the podcast. Every month I have beat my longest ever distance.
Well, that's progression.
That is, so it has to stop at some point, surely. It can't keep going up. So 15.7 miles, absolutely over the moon. The most I've ever ran in one run. Take 15 away from your 35, roughly about
24.74.
That's when we met then.
Yeah, I'll tell you why, because you remember I had to reset my tracker.
That's right. So we'll maybe come to that. We'll come to the point where we meet, and just before that, you've kind of given your morning.
How was your morning, Andrew?
Well, thanks for asking. I appreciate that, Colin. As I said, I was up actually a little bit earlier than normal just to see what was happening, because I had no idea where I was meeting you or what the crack was. So we decided you'd run to Slemish. I would park in Slemish as per the original plan, but this time we'd do a bit of a loop of Slemish and then we'd come back to the car park. And I think going forward, we will not rely on our wives or other people to kind of drive, because they'll be doing some driving just to bring us back to my car or one of our houses. So from now on, I will meet you somewhere and we will do a big loop of that location, and then we'll get back to the car, because it just means you don't have to rely on anyone, and it just makes things a bit easier, because it's hard to know just how long we could be out running for. We're learning as we go on, but my morning was great. Woke up, found out what the crack was, took my son to hockey, came back, and my mum, hello mum and dad, they listened to the podcast, and mum had bought me some jelly, blackcurrant jelly and orange jelly, blocks of jelly. I was actually quite organised this morning, or on Saturday morning, getting ready. I had a decision to make, and I decided to go for the blackcurrant jelly. Colin, I opened it up. You should smell the smell of a freshly opened packet of blackcurrant jelly.
What did it smell like, Andrew?
You know me, I don't often use the word divine, but the smell was divine.
I was expecting blackcurrant.
It was blackcurrant divine. It smelt like blackcurrant divine. I couldn't wait to get running just so I could get a bite of that jelly. Because if you don't know, I love my jelly when I go running, but I don't eat jelly outside of running. Even when I go out practice running or practice running, normal running, I don't take any jelly with me. I keep the jelly for the real race day at the end of the month. So I couldn't wait. I got prepared. I decided to pass you in the way. So I seen you, said a quick hello, see if you needed anything. And I went to Slemish, as we said in the last podcast. A bit different this time because I actually had to run a while to meet you.
Yeah.
Just to make up the miles, really, because just the way the route was going. I think I ran... Oh, I know exactly. I ran 5.5 miles exactly before I met you. You were listening to music. I was listening to an audiobook on Ten Hag. If you don't know who Ten Hag is, he is Manchester United's manager. And it's a great, I would say it's a great read. It's a great listen.
Yeah, he's one better than 9 Hag.
He's one better than 9. He's 2 better than 8. And we could go on, but I might get into trouble. We'll stop right there. So we met up. And I said, Colin, do you want to do a bit of the podcast now? And you said, yes. So we're going to play you at maybe this is about 2 minutes or so after we met each other en route. I'll just play that now. So Andrew and Colin, past Andrew and Colin, over to you.
You join myself and Colin on our run about 30 seconds ago, Colin. What was the song the music was playing? What was it called?
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day by U2. It's a fantastic song. Colin, is today a beautiful day?
It's had a beautiful minute or two. I wouldn't say a beautiful day.
If you remember in my last podcast, I said, Colin, I think we're going to get great weather all the way until September, October. Colin, have we got great weather all the way up to then?
Put it this way, my hybrid mittens are working a treat.
And I'm jealous of those hybrid mittens. It is absolutely, it's not a horrendous day, but we're both extremely wet, Colin.
Yeah, I am soaked through to the bone, but sure, once you're wet, you're wet. And that the same.
So, as you probably already heard in the podcast, there's a bit of a deviation of what happened, or a bit of a pivot, a bit of a different plan. Yeah. And then I've joined up with Colin about a mile ago.
Pivot,
friends forever. And we're doing another route now. How are you getting on? You're currently, how many miles have you done?
Probably 1.5.
That's because you set the new route. So count the 1.5 to the rest.
I think I'm nearing the 30 mark, to be honest with you. I've stopped looking at my watch whenever I'm running, because when you look at your watch, the miles go slower. And then see, when you're not looking at your watch, every mile is just ticking by. And it's well, I would say it's class in a glorious day, but miles just disappear the more you don't look at your watch.
Funny, I ran 5.5 miles exactly without you today, and I think I only looked at my watch maybe twice just to see whereabouts I was meeting you, or whereabouts roughly, because I knew I was going to meet you around the 5 mile way, and the miles just glide into each other. And as we've been talking, the rain's now stopped, Colin. It's
the sun's starting to dry off here. There's
a little bit of blue sky above us, and everywhere else is wet and grey. Is there anything else you want to say, Colin?
Yeah, where Andrew met me, it was a bit of a long and winding hill, and Andrew met me at the very top of it. And
it was a great sight, actually. The highest point probably of the run.
Of my run, yeah, the highest point of my run.
And I'm coming up one side, you're coming up the other, and we're both wave.
And then our route, it's just that I said, Andrew, there's this Antrim Hills route. It goes to your left. And Andrew's like, I drove past here when I was parking, and I didn't see no route. I was like, there's a route. There has to be a route, and it's to be a glorious route. And then I think we got to the end, we looked at this what can only be described as a trestle that someone who's not a carpenter has built over a fence. Over that fence, here's cars coming.
There's no car. Well, I haven't seen cars in ages, and there's 2 coming back to back.
So I jumped over, and I said, Andrew, look, this route will be class. So jumped over the fence.
When you say jump over the fence, you jumped into a field.
You jumped into a field.
It just looked like you jumped a fence into a field.
And Andrew's like, we ain't going to run on that. And I was like, well, it'll be okay. And Andrew jumped over.
And went about 3 inches down into it.
Yeah, up to his ankles, and Andrew's looking at it going, we ain't going to run this. And I said, but idiots, go running. And he goes, Yes, suppose we're just be idiots then.
It's like a hiking or something.
Back out and guess where we're heading now. See that highest point down that big long hill? Andrew gets the experience going down the hill instead of up the hill.
Very nice going down. It must have been a nightmare going up after doing 25 miles or something.
I think we could have easily rocked out an 8-minute mile down it. And Andrew, let's do a podcast and we're sauntering down a hill on now the sun's come out on a nice day. So yeah,
we've been doing this walking. So suppose we'll start running again, Colin. And
4 dogs coming.
There's a guy and 4 dogs coming. Wow. And a lot of car. So this is Andrew and Colin. Andrew and Colin, over to you.
Andrew and Colin of 2 days ago. Thank you very much. That was a great update. Colin, that brings you back.
Oh, it does.
2 days ago, I suppose.
It does. Andrew, honestly, you know what my first thoughts are?
Go for it.
That sounds like a scorcher.
Well, it wasn't Scorcher then. It was a Scorcher when we woke up, Colin. It wasn't a Scorcher later in the day.
Never a flipping scorcher, Andrew.
We touched on it there, but it's hard to put into words that I was on the phone to my wife at this stage and she was asking me, when are you meeting Colin? And I said to her, I'm going up to the tallest peak here, and I would imagine when I get up to the top, I should be able to see him somewhere down below, because the route up to here, like it's a lot, Colin, it's a long, well, you ran it. It's a long road. And while I was still on the phone, you couldn't make it up. All the stories we tell on Idiots Go Running, they're completely genuine. They're not made up, but you couldn't make this up, Colin. We met at the summit of this peak. It was crazy. You were coming up one way, I was coming up the other, and we actually met in the middle. Like, what was the chances of that happening? It was class.
It was amazing. Do you know what? I would put it up there with an end of an epic movie where 2 brothers have been separated by some catastrophe and decided to run to the top of the peak of this mountain, and they just ran at the same time, and they just got to the top as they both seen each other, which just a miracle.
We both started waving at each other as if we hadn't seen each other, like literally like an hour before or something. Like, Colin, it's me. And you're like, Andrew, it's me. And like we're opposite sides of the road and then getting close to each other. And it was like something from a movie. And it was actually a great moment.
Do you know what? It was interesting because I was going up, you didn't get my perspective of it. Because I was getting there, I could see you sort of your head first, and I was nearly lower, sort of just right up at you. Yeah, I suppose people don't. You had to be there.
You probably had to be there, but it's just moments like that you just couldn't make up, and it's just hard to put into words. I said about 2 minutes. It was a mile and a half down the road. Then we decided to record a bit of a podcast.
We were doing some speed down that road.
We were doing some speed, but you wanted. We had an original plan, or no? The route, I don't know what plan it was. It changed that many times, but the route took us off-road into a field, and there was no route there. You said, just because your watch said, it's over here, and I was like, there's no path there, there's no road there, there's no nothing there. You go, no, but the route's there. It's the old Antrim Way walk or something like that. Antrim's a county in Northern Ireland where Slemish is, and you said it's up there, and right enough, the only way you could tell, there was no signs or nothing, it was just...
There was a sign.
Fence. Was there a sign?
There was a big sign saying Antrim Hills Walk.
Right, well, I missed that sign. I must have just been looking at the field.
I'll be honest with you, it was a sign pointing at the field.
There was no route. It looked as if no one had ever done this walk before, and you go, it'll be good. You go, it's a shorter route, but it'll get us back to the car park.
You couldn't afford a shorter route.
Yeah, you might need to do a few more miles because it's a bit of crack, it's a bit of banter. I know you weren't feeling well, but at the same time, I do have to do at least half a marathon, and we could have got to the car park. What was your plan? Just to go to the car and then go? You go off running for another few miles.
Maybe that was your plan. Well, Bipper said to you, "Can you bring a cup of coffee?" There's things I don't tell you, Andrew.
I'm getting ready to go, and I get a wee message. Ding! Couldn't bring us a cup of coffee. Ding! Couldn't bring us some towels. Ding! Couldn't bring us some chocolate. And I'm like, right, it's not room service, Colin. This is how well prepared we are. Ding! I just stopped reading the messages after a while. It was as if, just a course, sir. Is there anything else you want? By the way, didn't have enough coffee to make me a cup of coffee. That's why there was only one mug of good coffee.
It was crap room service. The coffee was cold.
Well, that's what happens when you go out running for X amount of hours.
Or you could buy a decent flask.
Well, it was more like a flask cup.
It must have been a really cheap one, Andrew. Because I
Why
drank
don't
it. And it was
don't
lukewarm.
use-
It was lukewarm coffee.
I don't use that cup anymore, Colin.
It's crap.
It's crap. It's not good. It's
didn't
rubbish.
keep anything warm.
It doesn't keep the. But
He
here
brought
you
me a
lied to I said-
Frappuccino.
I said to you, we get back to the car. Here's your coffee. Here's me. I'm sure it's cold. No, it's the business.
Didn't want
The
to be
business
rude.
of being cold.
You'd like, well, yeah. Well, it was nice after doing that run. Sorry, my throat is still killing me here.
You can feel it. This is a longer podcast than I thought it'd be. So we met up and we decided to change the route, and we went off running, and there was sun, there was rain, and there was hailstones at one point, Colin. It was at times absolutely horrendous, at times absolutely scorching. Can I say that?
He's going to parkour.
Parkour. So that brings us. Yes, I'll explain about parkour. I'll actually look up if anyone has seen the US Office. There's a brilliant episode where they do parkour, or if you've seen the episode, you'll know they don't really do parkour. So it got to a point where we were drenched. We were drenched. There wasn't any of us that wasn't wet. So puddles didn't really matter if you ran through puddles or not through puddles, I suppose. But I started to make.
I wondered where that was going.
You and me both. So I decided just to do a bit of parkour and try to jump through the puddles, I suppose. So let's look up to see what episode that was. And every time the US Office, they went parkour, and jumped over desks and stuff like that.
Yeah, but there was these wee. Do you know if you see a puddle, there's this wee bit of tarmac that just it's sitting above it, and you can see there's some wee high points. This is what Andrew was trying to parkour through. Really, it was just a river that he was trying to parkour through. Meanwhile, I'm just slowly walking around the edge of the dry part where you could probably walk normally. But Andrew decided to.
I decided to do some parkour, and it made it into a bit of a game. So I'm quickly looking up. It's season 6, season 6 premiere, I believe,
Wow.
of parkour. So check that out. We started watching US Office during lockdown, and you've only started watching it, actually, haven't you?
I actually, when we started watching it, yeah, it's a good wee show. The US one, I've seen the UK one.
So funny. So if you haven't ever seen the US Office, which I don't know when it started, but it's been over a long time. We're very up to date here on the It Is Go Running podcast, so we are. It's a show I think it'll take off. I think it'll do well. So I done some parkour. It was a great run, Colin. It was my
do you
favourite.
know what?
I spoke to you on the way and I said this, and I feel a bit bad saying it because a third of this run was run without you, or a third of my run was run without you, but it's my favourite run to date.
Thanks. No, it was. Do you know what? The run was class because where we were, there wasn't many cars. We weren't in any rush to get back, so we didn't have to get the last time we had to get to Portaferry, and you were a wee bit off time to Ballywalter. Rather this time, you turned up on time.
I turned up on time, learned from my
You got
mistakes.
5.5 miles in. You met me. You started your run off downhill. There was a bit of banter. There was 4 dogs, as you've heard on the clip, and it was all good. And then towards the end of the run,
I think before we get there, Colin, we're missing a very important part of the run: the jelly. We've touched on the jelly, we've touched on the smell of the jelly, but as divine as the smell of the blackcurrant jelly was, I'm going to use the word again, Colin, the taste was absolutely divine. Blackcurrant jelly, right? So
I'm going to get you a thesaurus.
it was absolutely fantastic. And you actually, when you were researching about jelly, I think back after episode 1 or 2, you said you came across some guy who took jelly, and his top tip was blackcurrant jelly, wasn't it, of all the flavours? And
do you know what, Andrew? Surprise! Guess who we've got on the show tonight?
Oh, you're joking, Colin. Please be a blackcurrant jelly boy. It's not me.
Of course not. I can't even remember his name, but he did say blackcurrant was great.
That's disappointing, but I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. Just before we go to the end of the run, the jelly ranking in 3rd place, raspberry. Take it or leave it. Nothing that special. Strawberry solid, but way out in the lead is blackcurrant. I would go as far as saying I've got orange jelly downstairs waiting for my next run. I'm going to bring the orange jelly, but I'm also going to bring blackcurrant because it's just phenomenal. Blackcurrant jelly when running, absolutely phenomenal. So I know there's people that probably just listen to this podcast just to get my jelly intake. So I just wanted to update everyone with that. But the rest of the run, the whole run was brilliant, Colin. You were running. You're like a Duracell bunny. You really are. Like, you took off near the end of it. And I couldn't keep up with you. And you'd done, 25 plus miles in me. And I couldn't keep up with you. It was like you were just floating on air. It was a remarkable thing. And nearly at the very end, you said, we'll go up this way. And it was a lane. Do you remember this? Here we go. This is what we had to say. So past Andrew and Colin, over to you.
So, Colin, what are we currently doing at this very second?
Running. Well, not even running. Going through someone's field, because apparently the road that exists on everything in Google Maps doesn't exist.
So Colin said to go up a wee lane, and we went up and down, and just wait, we're about to jump
a river.
jump a river. Oh, this is it. Parkour! through a lane or two, and then Colin goes, this is someone's farmyard. Right enough it was. So it seemed a strange place to take us to the car park to Slemish.
Can I jump in? So there was this route that takes us round into the entrance of Slemish, the car park, but there's a shortcut which I went on Google Maps, and basically I could see there was a path all the way and it comes out at the car park. But in real life, we turned off and the road, well, it was going flipping beautifully well, Andrew, wasn't it?
That was nice. It's nice.
And then we turned a corner saying, yep, just around this corner and there's a gate.
Well, you said just around this corner, but you are correct. There was just a gate that led to the green fields. Colin thought, well, jump it. There used to be a path here. There's never, ever in the history of this place been a path here.
There had to be a path.
So
I'm going to Google.
now we're just jumping. We're literally jumping stone walls
Barbed wire.
with barbed wire.
Jumping
Not jumping,
over.
climbing over them.
Jumping over.
Jumping
wee
over
streams.
streams. And this here's nice because we're actually just wandered through. Someone left that gate open for us.
Happy days.
So there's no sheep in these fields. We've seen a lot of sheep.
No.
But we see Slemish. Well, you couldn't miss it.
We've got 2 more gates.
We can see our car. You
One
think 2
more?
more?
That gate and that gate, or is there 1 more gate?
Well, there's a whole hedge going to the car parks. We can't go for the hedge.
Okay.
So,
Maybe. Well, we're in the middle of a field.
Andrew and Colin, back to you.
So there we go. It's actually quite nice listening back to ourselves. That sounds full of it, doesn't it? It's nice listening back to ourselves. But it's nice doing those wee snippets along the way, isn't it?
Yeah, them guys should do a podcast, Andrew.
They should do a podcast. I'd listen to them.
Well, I listened to some episodes.
Wouldn't learn much from them.
No, they're divine.
And they are divine. So we got to the car park. The run was over. We got our picture taken at the Slemish sign. And great run, Colin. Great adventure. Lots of fun.
So much fun, and the best thing out of everything, you didn't lose your earpods.
I knew I'd put my earpods in one of the pockets of my bag, and maybe a mile down the road, I realised, the zipper's unzipped, and I think I lost my earpods. And that was a concern of mine the whole, almost 16, well, I suppose near 15 miles away round. And got back to the car, searched the whole car, they weren't there. I thought, I've lost them. But it turns out there's a pocket that I didn't know existed on my bag. Well, I did obviously that morning to put them in, and I found them, but I forgot that wee pocket existed. These wee bags we wear, if you see in Colin's running page on Facebook, you'll get a bit of an idea of the bags, and lots of wee pockets, and great for jelly and earpods and water and keys and other such items that you need when running.
And you know the thing I always think when you find your earpods, the first thought is, I am never going to lose you again. I'm going to put you somewhere safe. Are they somewhere safe, Andrew? Where are your earpods tonight?
They're in my ear, Colin.
Fucking Egypt.
They're in. What do you mean, Egypt? They're in my ear.
No,
because,
me. I'm talking to myself.
Oh, right. Well, I suppose you didn't really know, but
Didn't
yes,
realise of course you had them in your
the
flipping ear.
earpods case is in my hand, and the earpods are in my ears because I'm talking to you and recording into the mic. Colin, it's hard to believe we are a quarter of the way through our running challenge for the year. Officially. We've done 3 out of 12. That means there's 9 to go. That's a quarter, my friend.
That is. You might not be good at adding, but your division is divine.
So it's hard to believe we're at the end of March. It's hard to believe we've knocked 3 runs out. The year is flying in. These runs are something really to look forward to, aren't they, Colin?
We're doing something different every month, and we're prepping for it. We're looking forward to it. And there's so much, part of the fun is in creating this journey, creating the experience, taking the wrong turns, planning it. Where are we going? How are we going to get there? That is part of the fun. And a wise man once told me, it's all about the journey.
It's all about the journey. And a great journey it is shaping up to be this year so far. So the next podcast, Colin, the next time we're going to record is going to be, all being well, Monday the 24th of April. So hopefully the next podcast will come out on the 25th, Tuesday the 25th of April. And the reason being for that is the first few podcasts, or the first 2 months really, we saved up so we could release all the podcasts at once. But now we're doing them month by month. 2 episodes released of Idiots Go Running every month. The first episode will be the Monday before we go running. And really it's just to update us on the training that we've both had the past month. And also something else this month was Mizzen de Malin on that podcast coming out on the 25th of April. It'll be Mizzen de Malin part 2.
Yes, it will be. And can I just say thank you so much to everyone who has dropped a wee message, comment, or send us an email, or sends us a message, or comes up and talks to us and said, what are you doing? Where are you going this week? It really does make us smile and make us happy that people are actually listening to this.
Do you know what? It's absolutely brilliant. We talk about this off the podcast the odd time where, someone will either come up and say something, or you get a wee text message or a WhatsApp, or you get stuff on social media. It really does make us smile, and we love it. And we're not doing it for that reason, but we appreciate the feedback we've had. And thanks to everyone who's give us, and it's all been positive so far, unbelievably. And if you've any other ideas or suggestions or even questions for us, please let us know. Probably the 2 best ways to contact us is via your Facebook page. What's that Facebook page again, Colin?
Are you having another plug?
It does sound like that.
That's 1 new follower tonight. 1 new follower, MS Running Adventure.
So it's on Facebook. You can contact Colin there, or you can email us at idiotsgorunning@gmail.com. Please, you can give us feedback. You can send us questions, or give us suggestions, or anything you'd like to hear on the podcast. We'll take that on board, and we'll see if we answer those questions or those suggestions.
And voice clips are always fun. Voice clips are always fun.
Yes. If you want to send us audio feedback, you could be on the Idiots Go Running podcast with your feedback, and that would be a lot of fun too. So that would be brilliant, actually, Colin. Yes, so please send us audio feedback on what do you think of the podcast or anything like that. That would be great fun, and we'll talk about that too. So you can email us at idiotsgorunning@gmail.com, or send it via Colin's Facebook page. And you will find this podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anywhere decent where you get your podcasts. And feel free to give us a rating. Give us a good rating. if you're going to give us like a 1 star, just don't worry about that. Maybe just don't feel like you have to do that. But if you feel like you want to be generous and do generally, if you do enjoy our podcast, feel free to give us a rating on Apple or Spotify. We would appreciate that. So the next episode is coming out on Tuesday the 25th. We'll do our run that Saturday, and then the following Monday we will record another episode and then release it on the following day, on the Tuesday. So until the 25th of April, my name's Andrew.
My name's Colin.
And this is Idiots
Go Running. It sounds like it's Halloween. Go running.
It sounds like Halloween. I tell Hong Kong. We'll see you next time.
Bye.